Lesson 3, Initial Contact. So what is initial contact? Initial contact with a child refers to the apprehension or taking into custody of a child in conflict with the law by police officers or private citizens. It includes apprehension with or without a warrant. Police officers should take note that the physical custody of the child should be turned over to the appropriate persons or agencies as per Lesson 6 or turning over the physical custody of the child and referring the case of the child within 8 hours after initial contact. So next topic is protection upon the initial contact. So the CICL shall enjoy the rights laid down by the Republic Act number 9344 as amended and shall enjoy the protections of other laws whenever applicable from the first time that the child comes in contact with the juvenile justice and welfare systems. The right to privacy of a CICL shall be respected at all stages of the proceedings. As such, all records and proceedings involving children in conflict with the law from initial contact until the final disposition of the case shall be considered privileged and confidential. So question is, who may conduct initial contact? So it could be done by the first responders, beat patrol officers, WCPD, and other responding police officers. Next topic is the general rules in conducting initial contact. So first, the apprehending officer shall identify himself or herself to the child and shall introduce herself or himself as kuya or ate to the child and show his or her proper identification card as police officer. B. If the apprehending officer is wearing a vest or jacket while in uniform, she or he shall show her or his nameplate or badge to the child. C. If the apprehending officer is in civilian clothes, he or she shall show his or her identification card. And D. The apprehending officer shall conduct the search of the child in a friendly, non-degrading, and gender-sensitive manner. A female child shall only be searched by female police officer. So what they explain to the child? So the police officer shall explain to the child in simple language and in a language or dialect. So E. The reason for placing the child under custody. B. The offense allegedly committed. C. The child's constitutional and other rights as shown in Lesson 8 or rights of children in conflict with the law. So the apprehending officer shall read the following rights of a persons under custodial investigation to the child in language or dialect which he or she understand. So first right, you have the right to remain silent, and then you can ask her or him if do you understand. Two, you have the right to have an independent and competent counsel of your own choice. Three, if you cannot afford the services of a lawyer, the government will provide a lawyer to assist you free of charge. And then you can ask him or her if do you understand. Four is anything you say will be used against you in any court of law. Five, do you understand all these rights? So if the child cannot understand the language or local dialect or suffers from disability, so immediately bring the child to the station for proper assistance. The apprehending officer shall immediately notify the child's parents or guardians, the LSWDO, and the Public Attorney's Office or PAO of the child's apprehension. The notification shall be made not later than 8 hours after terminations. That's all.
So, let's proceed to my topic, prevention of violence, injury, or humiliation. Okay. The apprehending officer shall prevent any possible violence or injury that may be inflicted against the child by any person, including the victim or the complainant. Okay. From the time the CCL is taken into custody, okay, the apprehending officer shall secure the child from public attention and humiliation. If the CSCL resists apprehension, the apprehending officer may use reasonable force to take the child into custody. Okay, but if the best interest of the CSCL warrants it, the apprehending officer may call for his unit's assistance in apprehending the child. The apprehending officer shall state clearly that CSCL is involved. Apprehending a child with a warrant. If a CICL is to be apprehended by virtue of a warrant of arrest, the police officer shall serve the warrant of arrest to the CICL according to the rules provided in this segment. Okay. The police operational procedures shall apply suppletorily in all cases. The warrant shall be served to the CICL in the presence of her parents or guardians or the local social worker. Apprehending a child without a warrant. Number one, in his presence, the CICL to be apprehended as committed is actually committing or is attempting to commit an offense. And number two, an offense has just been committed and he has a probable cause to believe, based on personal knowledge of facts or circumstances, that the CICL to be apprehended has committed it. Right. Number three, the CICL to be apprehended is a resident of a youth institution and he has escaped from it. Let's proceed to the next topic. Prohibited acts during initial contact. Number one, during of instruments of force or restraint, the apprehending officer shall avoid displaying, including the baton, the handcuff, gun, and stakes, and etc. During initial contacts, as provided under Section 21 of RA 9344 as amended, a police officer may only use an instrument of force or restraint when absolutely necessary, the, and only after all other methods of control have been exhausted and have failed. Whenever handcuffing is necessary, the apprehending officer shall ensure that the child is not exposed to the public to avoid embarrassment and humiliation. The apprehending officer may cover instruments of restraint use. If forced handcuffs or other instruments of restraint are employed on the child, the police officer shall record such fact, the reason for using them, and report it to the WCPD of officers in the station. These facts shall be recorded in the pink blotter or the mandatory registry. Number two, unnecessary violence and force. Use of unnecessary violence and force against the child is absolutely prohibited without exception. Using unnecessary violence and force is a criminal offense. Number three, body search by an officers of the opposite gender. CICL who is in custody shall not be searched by a police officers of opposite gender. Number four, vulgar language. All duty bearers shall not use vulgar or profane words against or in the presence of the CICL. And number five, committing sexual advances on the child. Police officers shall not sexually harass or abuse or make sexual advances on the CICL. Criminal and administrative charges shall be filed against police officers who perpetrate sexual offense upon a CICL. And number six, torture. Okay. Police officers shall not use torture or inflict cruel punishment and other forms of violence and abuse on children. If prohibited acts were committed, if the acts mentioned above were committed during initial contacts, the police officer concerned shall exercise authority to stop the one employing violence to the child, place the, place the child in a secure place away from the abuser, and report the incident immediately to the WCPD. The WCPD officer shall record these facts in the pink letter or mandatory registry and shall investigate regarding matter and shall file the appropriate administrative and criminal cases. Okay. Preserving the scene of the crime. The apprehending officer shall preserve the scene of the crime as provided by the police operational procedures. And then assistance to victim of CSEL. In case an alleged victim is found in the area and needs medical attention, police officer shall provide the victim with appropriate first and aid treatment and take her to the nearest hospital. The police officer shall also invite the victims and other witnesses to go to the police station to provide statement regarding the crime committed. Thank you.
Proceed to our topic. If the offense is serious or non-serious, serious. First is medical exam and forms the child is immediately taken for a medical examination. For this, crucial to assess any physical injuries or trauma. Second is privacy during the exam. The child privacy is paramount. The responding officer ensure the exam occurs in a way that respects the child's dignity and avoids unnecessary exposure or distress. Three is transport to station. After the medical exam, the child is transported to the police station. This is where further processing and investigation will occur. Four is initial contact report. A detailed report is completed describing the initial contact with the child. This includes the time, location, circumstances, and any interaction. Five is affidavit of apprehension. A sworn statement affidavit is prepared detailing the events leading to the child apprehension. It includes information about the crime, witness, and the circumstances surrounding the arrest. Six is custody transferred to the WCPD. The child custody is transferred to the woman and children protect this. WCPD is this specialized unit is better equipped to handle cases involving children. 7 is referral to investigative unit. The case is referred to the appropriate investigative unit. This is maybe a general investigation unit, a specialized unit for child abuse, or another relevant department. 8 is safe and dignified transport. The child safety and well-being are prioritized during transport. This should be shielded from any potential harm or distress. Last is separation from adults. The child is kept separate from adult offenders during the transport and detention to prevent further trauma or negative influence. This protects the child physical and emotional safety. And thank you.
Conducting initial contact in an educational institution if the initial contact shall be conducted in the premises of an educational institution. The responding police officer shall always coordinate with the head of the educational institute within its child protection committee. If the existing before conducting the initial contact in addition, the following procedures shall be observed. Number 1, the responding police officer shall go directly to the police of the head of the educational institution in civilian clothes. Number 2, no guns shall be brought inside the premises of the educational institution. Number 3, the responding officer shall accomplish and sign all the school documents required for the turnover of the child. Upon completion of the requirements documents of the turnover, the responding officer shall directly escort the child with his or her parents or guardians out of the school to the police station.
If the child is a CER, if after affecting the initial contact, the responding officer should realize that the child is not a CICL but a CER. The police officer shall immediately refer the child to the LSWDO or the barangay as the case may be. The police officer shall report the incident to the WCPD and enter the incident in the pink blotter or in the mandatory registry. If the offense is like, if the child offense is like, but offense is not listed as at risk of becoming a CICL, the responding officer shall either, number 1, give the child a friendly advice or a payo or a simple warning not to repeat the acts she or he has committed. Number 2, call the unoffending parents or guardians for their proper intervention in the treatment of the child. Number 3, refer the child directly to the barangay of residence and to the LSWDO for proper disposition and intervention. If the child is a resident of another municipality or city, the child shall be referred to the LSWDO of the place where the offense was committed for proper disposition. In all cases, the responding officer shall take down the facts of the case in his or her particular and shall report the incident to the WCPD. Officer who shall enter the incident in the pink platter or mandatory registry.